going to shout too. Can you hear me?
Yes!
Well, I'm very honoured to have been invited to come to this rally today because I believe the Newbury campaign has been an absolutely brilliant campaign that will be remembered for many years, indeed many centuries, for some of the reasons that you have just heard. First of all, because the demand for a proper, safe public transport system makes sense to everybody, whether you own a car or not. The roads are choked with vehicles. The environment is polluted. And what we want is to provide in our society a way in which people can move about without that pollution, without that congestion, and without that enormous cost to our countryside. But the other thing that matters, maybe even more than that, is that what you have done in this campaign is to tell governments that democracy is about what we do, where we live and work, and not what somebody does to us, if only we will elect them. Very important, I think, to connect this campaign with all the other campaigns that have been going on in this country and worldwide. I give you one example. I represent Chesterfield, which is a mining area, and they closed all the pits in Chesterfield. There is mass unemployment in the mining areas, and when the pits were closed and the communities were destroyed, they came along with open cast mining, which has the effect of destroying the environment as well. And when the miners came out to campaign to keep their jobs, they sent hundreds and hundreds of policemen, and they used the same bail conditions that have been used against people campaigning here in Newbury. And that was a warning. Arthur Scargill said, if we are defeated, then you will find they come for you next. And he was absolutely right, and it gave me great pleasure that Arthur Scargill was re-elected by his miners and Thatcher was thrown out by our own party after that. Then there is the story of the Greenham Common women. I was in the Newbury Magistrates Court when those women were first brought before the magistrates. And they were charged under the Justices of the Peace Act of 1361. And what they were charged with was action likely to cause a breach of the peace. And inside Greenham Common were enough nuclear weapons to destroy the human race. And although some of those women campers were not very popular with respectable residents around Greenham Common, it has now become clear that there were a number of nuclear incidents at Greenham Common, and therefore those women were right. Even though they were put in prison, they were punished, they were attacked in the press, they were right, and they were talking about the future and not the past. Then if you look at the Liverpool dockers, by God, those dockers who were sacked up in Liverpool went on the internet. They took their case to the world. And when I was last in Liverpool, they had dockers from California and New Zealand supporting them because they were defending their jobs and their families and their working conditions. And the Liverpool dockers went to Turkey to get a bit of support. And when they were there, they saw the Turkish police turning on the demonstrators, so they set up a Turkish solidarity committee from Liverpool itself.